The lesson. Pt.7.
Oh yeah.
After the last official album release from you, you've still been doing, the tours and the live performances. When did that sort of start to wind up for you? And do you remember the moment where you said, that's it, I'm done with the music?
Yeah, I do. It's a little hazy, but I remember the point where, you reach a certain age and you're like, oh my God, am I going to be that 40-year-old DJ? Honestly, trying to pick up chicks in the club, going, hey, did you catch my last set? Nah. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, it's, it's hard to make a living from this stuff. I mean, let's keep it real. It's really hard. It's you either got to be, A grade, or semi B grade star, and you got to have your hands in a lot of different pies. You need, if you got to have records out, but you don't make not that much money on record sales anyway. And I mean, our royalties, let's be honest, we would get 30% of the record sales, and the label will keep 70. How's that right? Yeah, we weren't making money, man. How do you justify to progress? You know what I mean? We made more money off our merchandise in shows than our, sometimes performances. Hey, that was interesting. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is you got to have your hands in a lot of different pies. So you do your music, you've got to have a publishing deal, do some music for like commercials or film, or you know what I mean? You got to do music for other people and get your royalties that way. I still get royalties all the time. It's great. But I just didn't see, it was just too much work. And I thought to myself at one point, what's after this? Like I need to, I want to start a family. I don't want to be that dad that is struggling all the time. So I basically went to school, and then I got a diploma in like graphic design and media and 3D animation and development, technology and all that. And I did a degree in design and communications. And I started out as a creative sort of graphic design, he's sort of UX designer for the designs apps and websites and all that. And that led me to a path. Now I own my own company, so consultancy. So I am a strategic designer. What does that mean? That means that I come into an organization and they're looking at creating a whole new product in a whole different market, and they have this idea, and my job is to go, your market doesn't give a shit about that product. We did the research. They actually care more about this. And then we, and there's a million different ways we do that. And then we also can make them a product to go, here's a prototype of the product that people can use, and then we can build it for you. So there's a lot of sort of strategic design, a lot of, workshop facilitation, which is like our show. There's making things, products, which is like making music, right? You get what I'm saying? So it's another creative way. I have to be creative, otherwise I'm dead. So like, what is out there that I can still make something that won't drive me nuts, and I can get my creative, brain ticking. But it's a whole different ball game. Like I work with a client now, and it's corporate. It's mad corporate. You know what I mean? It's a whole different audience. I can't turn around to the audience and go, fuck you, bitch. I'll lose my job. It's a different mentality, but it's different. It's weird. I was depressed for a while, letting it go. It took me about 5 years to get over it. Yeah.
And that was actually my next question is, you seem quite happy with where you're at now. But yeah, like when you made that decision to let go, I can imagine. Did you have things going through your head like, fuck, I've wasted X amount of years and all that sort of shit?
Yeah, I did. I did because you're at that sort of tipping point where it could, um, if you I mean, at the end of the day, everything needs to come to an end. Even if you're at the top, there's going to be a part where you're going to fall. You know what I mean? You can't be number one forever. You know what I mean? So it's the same with the DJ stuff. You know what I mean? So battle DJs, they're not gonna win every single competition. You're not going to be number one on the charts all the time. So let's take it up and take it down a couple of levels, right? So um, to me, it was more about this is a transition for me. This was a stepping stone to experience something in music that got me to where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? It made me, it built me up as a character, and I was quite a character to be who I am now. And I still miss it. I miss it all the time. I wouldn't say every day, but I miss it a lot. Um, and we made a lot of noise, like a lot of noise back then, and I can pretty much say if I was to die tomorrow, would I be okay with it? Shit, yeah. Because I felt I've lived 3 lifetimes, like I really do. It's an amazing gift that I was fortunate enough to have, and the gift of knowing a lot of other people to interact with and do some magic. You know what I mean? So that it takes time. It's like first is anger. Stage 1 is anger. Stage 2 is acceptance. And that's a hard one too. You got to just accept and let go. And I still have my equipment. Still got my SL 1200s. Still got my wax. Sold my drum machines, but I just bought a new machine, the Mark III, not the standalone one, because I'm just to escape from what I do day to day. You know what I mean? Just to get on it and my as soon as people found out I'm back in Sydney, I started getting all those calls going, oh man, come on, let's go. You got the buzz, I can tell. I'm like, just because I'm on the phone with you doesn't mean I've got the buzz. But to be quite honest, I actually do have the buzz. I actually want to come. Sometimes you've got to go away to come back. I'm not saying I want to come back, but I'm just saying like it's good to have a break. And I think I needed a break because it's almost like a drug. At first, it's all pleasure. It's all amazing. And then what happens is you get into it and it starts to get more pain. You know what I mean? I think the biggest mistake I've ever made in my career as an artist was mixing the pleasure of being into that space in music and getting more closer with people, knowing everybody, and not treating it as a separate as business as this is my job. Because what happens when you start interacting with fans and people and promoters, which is a whole other thing, by the way, the promoter thing, you get involved in the politics. You know what I mean? And it's a dog eat dog world out there. Everybody wants to do better than each other, and people, are fighting for that top tier position. And it's very, very aggressive, and it takes a lot out of you. And only the best of the best succeed, to the ones that really put in the work. So I actually, we have a mutual respect with people, and they know who they are. When I'm saying this is that, there are some heavy hitters out there, but these are the guys that do the heavy work, and that's the result. Then you get the flip side of that, where the people are just not putting in the work, and they complain why they're not getting anywhere. It's like, come on, man, are you serious? It's a really hard skill to have, and so skill is one, but then there's the strategic element of getting to where you are. You need to have fans. You need to have a business mindset. You need strategy. Listen Essa is a good example of that. Hoods are a good example of that. You know what I mean? elephant tracks and obese. You know, it's a good example of that. So, yeah.
The lesson.
Oh yeah.